To complete the Engage SpreadControl installation, we need to go to the Raven 4 display, and we're going to configure the machine settings as well as calibrate the funnel boxes. We're going to start by ensuring that the ISO section control is unlocked in our display. First, we go to the ISO tab, System Manager, Unlocked Features, and here we can see that the ISO section control is now in the unlocked features. Now we're going to configure the machine settings. Once you have plugged in the Engage SpreadControl to the CAN network, the program should automatically load, and you'll find that here in the UT application. This will be the main home screen that you see when controlling the funnel boxes. We're going to start by ensuring that we have the correct machine configuration settings. First, by tapping the config button. The numbers you see here should correlate to the PM4Xs installed on your machine. Make sure that the correct serial number is assigned to the correct bin. The first thing that we're going to do is change the headroom to 15. Next, we're going to calibrate the funnel boxes. We'll start by going back to our UT page, tap Product, and Funnel Box Calibration. You'll notice that during calibration, it's easiest to have two people so that one person can be seeing the funnel box itself and the other can be making adjustments on the screen. If you don't have two people, that's okay. You'll just need to go back and forth between the display and the funnel box. What you'll want to see is the funnel box line up evenly on both sides so that product does not spill into the incorrect sections. In this case, we needed to adjust the left funnel box 5. You'll notice that the actual adjustment does not move to where our target adjustment is. We'll move to the centered position, then back to the extended position prior to looking at the funnel box to ensure that the correct adjustments were made. Next, we'll do the centered, which also needed a +5 adjustment. If the actual adjustment is not the same as the target, that's okay. And finally, we'll do the retracted, which needed a -5. You'll want to do this for both the left hand and right hand funnel box. The plus adjustments mean that we're going to extend the actuator arm, and the minus adjustments mean we're going to retract the actuator arm. The pivot material should fill in the notch cutout in the cover. Next, we're going to enter the mass density for our products. First, press the Product tab. Input the mass density of the product for each bin. Mass density is calculated according to the instructions in the AGCO AirMax Precision Operator's Manual. Make sure that the manual speed is set to off during the bin calibration. Next, we're going to calibrate the bins. At the beginning of each season, calibration to the bins is important to ensure the correct amount of product is being dispensed. Unplug the harness from the funnel boxes and remove the funnel boxes. Remove the chute covers and put the covers where the funnel boxes were. This will help you collect the product being dispensed from the bins. We've already selected the Product tab in the navigation. Here, then we can go to the bin calibration. Create a simulated speed of 10. This time we're going to do a target rate of 100 and a target cal weight of 100. Our calibration number is going to be 1610. Once you've collected the product for bin 1, then we can move to bin 2 if applicable. Once you've finished with bin 2, we can move to the micronutrient bin, also if applicable. If it's your first time calibrating the system, we enter the calibration number of 1610 and 7200 for the micronutrient bin. If you've calibrated the system before, the previously determined calibration number should still be displayed. Do not change this number. Once you've entered the settings for the bin calibration, press start. Once your calibration is complete, weigh the product and enter the total weight in pounds that was dispensed from both drive chains. The calibration number will automatically adjust to the correct calibration. Do not change this number. Once your cal number changes automatically, press accept. And this will complete the bin calibration. First, we're going to configure the machine settings. We're going to navigate to our UT tab, press config on the right side of the screen. The first thing we want to select is the number of bins we are using for this system. For this particular system, we're using 2 bins. We're also using a micronutrient bin. This can be changed by just simply tapping, and it will toggle between yes or no. Next, we want to ensure that our PM4 bin numbers match the serial numbers to the PM4Xs on the side of the machine. And finally, if you would like, you can change the headroom percentage. The headroom percentage is a buffer for the ACO rate control valves. The rate control valves split the hydraulic oil between bin 1 and bin 2. These valves are located before our newly installed proportional flow valves. The buffer allows us to maintain the product rates. If the algorithm doesn't call for enough flow, this buffer will compensate to allow Engage SpreadControl to stay on the desired rate. We suggest by starting at 15%, and if needed, adjust it from there. Next, we're going to calibrate the rate valves. Check the style of chain rate valves on your machine. They are located inside the control box, behind the shoe covers on the left side of the machine. You will have either round or square mountings. In the app, we're going to navigate to our UT screen, press config on the right side, then press rate valve calibration. It's important to note not to press the set button next to the numbers, here and here. We're going to start by calibrating bin 1 valves. Enter the low number based on your mounting style. If you have the square ends on your rate valves, enter 15 under low. If you have the round valves, enter 30 under low. Then press the green checkbox to complete. For either the square or round valves, enter 70 for the high. Press the bin 2 tab and enter the same values as you did for bin 1. Here you can see they have already been set. Once you have completed this step, you can go back to the main screen. Next, we're going to change the PWM settings. Do not attempt to change PWM settings in the app. For assistance, call Intelligent Ag in order to adjust the PWM settings. Within our UT app, we can tap Config and PWM. These are already preset numbers that should have been loaded once the application was loaded. Next, we're going to talk about the section status of the machine. Since Engage SpreadControl is controlling the system, you want to ensure that the settings are accurate on this page in order for proper application. We're going to start by talking about bin status. Bin 1 and bin 2 are both on the screen. This means that the bins will be dispensing product during operation. The micronutrient bin is off, meaning the micronutrient bin will not be dispensing product during operation. Next, we'll change the desired rate on each of our bins. We can do this by tapping the up button, the minus button, or by simply tapping the screen to input the desired rate. The number below the desired product rate will be the actual rate dispensed during operation. At the bottom left-hand side of our UT application, you can see the fan speed. On the bottom right-hand side of the application, you can see the task controller. You can turn this on or off during operation and on the screen as well. You'll notice that once we've turned the task controller on, we can no longer adjust our product rates. And finally, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the sections from left to right driving during operation. In order to turn these sections on or off, we first have to make sure that our master switch is on. You'll notice once the master switch is on, all sections are engaged and the funnel boxes will move to the center section. You'll notice that I'm unable to turn off the sections on the screen. You'll have to utilize the 4 section switches on your armrest in order to manually turn on and off the sections. Otherwise, the prescription map will automatically turn on and off the sections during operation. Since Engage SpreadControl is tapping into the existing sensors already on the machine, you'll notice that we also have a bin status. The bin status is currently full, and then once changed to empty, an alarm will display. Next, we're going to talk about the alarms that will display during operation of the Engage SpreadControl system. To view these alarms, we can tap Alarms, or you will automatically get an alarm that will display this screen during operation. If you'd like to check the status of the machine, we can go back and review the alarms again just by tapping the Alarms button. The voltage alarm displayed on the top left-hand box are between the funnel boxes and their actuators. If there is low voltage or no voltage to the actuators, the green boxes will turn red. Check the connection on the 2-pin connector on the actuator first for troubleshooting. Next is the overload alarm. This means that the actuator is being overloaded. Unplug the harness to the actuator, pull the funnel box back, and ensure that the funnel box is clean, especially around the actuator. You can also inspect the funnel box for mechanical damage, which could impede the motion of the pivot. Finally, you can power cycle by unmating and remating the power connectors to the actuator with the system powered up and operating. Last on this side is the connection alarm. This means there is a loss of communication between the connection on the 4-pin connector on the actuator and the CAN network. The bin empty alarms on the right side of the screen simply mean that the bin sensors are no longer detecting product in the bins.